Hello, everyone. Welcome to Open Chat. So, positive news. Yes, I know. Usually I start with griping, but it's been a weird day all around today. So I figured let's start with the positive. Folks, I have been wanting a rower for 8 years. Ever since I moved out of my mom's house after being there for a year and a half, my mom and my stepdad's, and they had a rower that I used every day for a year and a half. I've wanted one. I've been completely obsessed. And finally, 8 years later, after 8 years of adulting, I finally got my rower on the way, which shall be delivered this Wednesday. And I have a nice dude to put it together for me. So, yay.
And Miss Chloe also has some good news.
To go on.
Miss Chloe has received her Section 8 or Section 21 in the UK. So basically, I'm finally getting out of this shithole!
And if anyone wonders why she accidentally called it Section 8, that's what it's out here in Missouri. I was on it when I first came out of high school and I was put in the assisted living. So, but it's the same general principle. It's to assist in helping you afford housing. If it's not actually, we call it HUD out here, Housing and Urban Development. If it's not one of their actual housing units, then they will pay a certain percentage of your rent for you based off of what you make. So it sounds like it's similar from that smile there. So that's pretty much how it works. And God, guys, getting on it in the UK or in my state is a miracle. It is a freaking miracle because the wait lists for these types of programs are massive. Massive. I literally had to use my street cred being an autism advocate to push my aunt into a place that was built for people with disabilities based on income outside of HUD, because otherwise she would have had to wait for 3 years. Yet mom was about ready to tear out her hair by the root, and that's just too terrifying to contemplate. So, yeah, just a little bit tidbit. I know entirely too much about this.
But the thing was, the reason why right, so a little bit of backstory of how I ended up here. I was, long story short, a runaway from foster care. So that's why. And my Wi-Fi's gone down. Sweet. My Wi-Fi's gone down, hasn't it? Oh, for fuck's We're off to a great start today, guys.
Okay, so a lightning bolt just struck, and then everything started spinning. And then I come back on here, and then there was suddenly two of me.
And my name's Chloe.
Two of me. That's a horrifying thought.
I thought my Wi-Fi went down. I was like, oh no.
No. We've got, and then it just kind of rumbled, and I felt it underground. And my poor kitty is right next to me. He has to stay by mommy because Stormy's bad. Mommy is safe. It's okay, Mr. Kitty. It's okay. It's all right.
And it was me thinking that the Wi-Fi went down on my end.
And folks, I've gotten to the point that the AH supporters just comically amuse me. They really don't even really piss me off anymore. So it's been an interesting day since the witness list came out. Where you have dumbasses sitting there saying he had someone beautiful and all he wanted to do was drink. I'm like, what planet have you been on for the last 6 years? Because I'm sorry, I've been sober 3 years now. 3. And if I had to deal with her bitch ass every day, I
understand why you would drink.
I would look for the first gallon bottle of vodka I could find and just down it like a shot. Like she'd be going, I'd be like,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just replace the alcohol with Monster or Relentless at the moment. Not sponsored, not affiliated.
No, seriously, I'd be like, okay, well, if we're going to go off the wagon, we might as go off the wagon big. And my mom would ask me, okay, Tip, why are you suddenly downing an entire bottle of vodka on stream for the world for you to see? You've been sober. Amber Heard showed up, or AH, dox me, I don't care. I'm a semi-public figure anyways. It's out there. Seriously, people. And yeah, and she would just be like, oh God. And then would try to tell me, Xanax would probably be better.
No, it's called amitriptyline. You trip balls like an hour before you go to bed. It's lovely.
No, seriously, anyone still defending her ass? Like, especially some of these people now. Like, first of all, where have you all been for the last 6 years? And second of all, you all have noticed that the Me Too crowd has had a lot of corruption in the ranks of their Me Too thing, right? Right? Like, you've all seen them free fall. For the love of God. And I always say it might be the autism in me. I don't believe people, I believe facts. Cold, hard, beautiful facts.
Yep.
Okay?
Excuse me.
And logic. I know what a black eye looks like. I know what a broken nose looks like. I know what a split lip looks like. I know what a person can and cannot do with shattered ribs because I've been around a hospital my entire life. Like, one of these, and I haven't had this happen since, God, years ago when I was fighting the JRC as per usual, when somebody decided, I'll dox you, I'll find your family. And, no, those have happened. Those happened. And just like back then, I lost my shit laughing. I told them, my mom has an AK-47 assault rifle. She's a crack shot. My brother and my stepdad are both Army veterans. Both have guns that they have not had real target practice to use. Mm-hmm. My state is a stand your ground state. Good luck. I wish you all the best. You have fun with that. Mm-hmm. Because I'm just saying, and that's for me, I also know how to shoot. I have, and Paul has, a ridiculous amount of swords, daggers, short knives. They're all
the murderous cats.
Yep, we have all of our weapons centered around our doors for easy access. He even has one for, like, if he needs to use his cane and someone dumb enough came to our door trying to get me or get him.
The devil and the devil appears, so.
He unscrews it. And there it is, one of those old hidden blades things. So, yeah, there's nothing.
That shit's illegal over here in the UK.
There's
believe it
nothing
or not.
these idiots can threaten me with. There is nothing that they have on me. There is nothing that they could ever use against me that will ever make me stand down. Not stand down for fighting for those kids at the JRC. I'm not standing down with Johnny Depp either, or Andre McCohen's, or Andre Anderson, or Jennifer Masumba, or a single goddamn one of us. Just like the balls of these people. We'll get to your families. My family's special.
My family will fucking find the nearest weapon, and they will take it to an advantage.
And it's gonna be like, we'll go after your Uncle Wayne. Good fucking luck. If you think we're bad as a group, he's called Crazy Wayne
for a reason.
You really want to go up against a guy that he's known, to my horror and embarrassment, as the guy from the buy a truck, get a gun commercials. And your first idea is to get to me through him?
No. You'd be dead before you get to Tiff.
Or he may actually befriend you, which might be worse.
At this point, either or seems justifiable.
Lindsay, I stick up for all of us. I'm not doing anything different with Depp that I haven't done already for closing in on 20 years now. We have a saying in our community, Lindsay. You come against one of us, you come against us all.
The family.
We have had to have each other's backs because the media likes to tear us down, turn us into stereotypes, push pure culture, push things like the JRC. Autism Speaks with their fundraiser every year, acting like they're doing good while they have the JRC who tortures autistic and other disabled children on their pamphlet as a service provider. I'm here for all of us because they gaslight us, they call us monsters, abusive, evil, uncontrollable people. So we've got to have each other's backs. We have to. And the sad fact is, Miss Lindsay, Depp is just part of a larger community of people with disabilities who've been tortured, abused, and even murdered by their significant others.
Yep. Sorry. I'm really twitchy tonight. It's because I've only had like one can of caffeine today. This is my second can.
Even Miss Chloe here has experienced something very similar to Depp relatively recently.
Actually, almost a year ago to the day.
And like
actually, no, it's a year ago to the day.
And here's the sad thing. They didn't believe her either.
No.
They told
why.
They told her because of her autism that she must have been, let's see here, imagining it, or even better, making it worse than what it actually was.
Paul heard it all down the phone. He would snatch, like, my psycho ex used to snatch the phone off of me. Not the phone that I've got now. Thank fuck I've got rid of that phone. And it would just be like, I'm so fucking high right now. And I'll just be sitting there and I'm looking at him. Bearing in mind, I'm stone cold sober. But I act high just to make him happy. And I was like, you're a fuck up. You're a fuck up.
Because, yeah, he's not only a part of males who have been abused, but people with disabilities. We had on here. I know you weren't here for it, Miss Lindsay, but it was the Disability Day of Mourning, where I
Oh, that's true.
read through the list of people with disabilities, like Johnny, who were murdered.
Hmm.
One of them, screw you people, women can't overpower men. A wife who held down and murdered her disabled husband. That's what I'm here for. And every time, and I know you've seen it, I've seen you comment on it on Twitter many times. All these girls who either A, want to get in his pants and do those lewd photos of certain areas, or tells him, why is he breathing next to that female or that female? It's just. This is why so many stands say we just want in his pants. But then again, when I post evidence to contrary, my long laundry list of events and personal people I've spoke to about the things I'm talking about, oh, you must think you're somebody, don't you? It's their only comeback. It's all they got. Like, every time, even the media, you're just starstruck. I'm like, no, my starstruck moment, I can tell you when that happened. That was several years ago. See, I stand two people in this life. Two people. One of them died many years before I was born. That is Groucho Marx. She's heard me rant and just go poetic, okay? That's my boy. That's my boy. And
These are conversations that we have off stream.
And Miss Temple Grandin. And my only starstruck moment, I've met other celebrities since, was meeting her when we arranged, me and some autism moms, a few handfuls of other advocates, managed to get her to come down. And yes, I'll dox myself. I don't give a shit. At the Gilead's Theater downtown and come give a talk. She's done it a few times since then. And yes, when I met her, I did the autistic solid 5 minutes of deer in the headlights staring without saying a word. After which something awkward was blurted out.
That's not good.
And thankfully, Temple being Temple just ran with it and managed to break the ice. That was my starstruck moment. That was my starstruck moment right there. Since then, I've got to meet such cool people. It's like Granda from Ozark Mountain Daredevils. They did this song, guys. You'll know the song if you don't know the band. If you want to get to heaven, you got to raise a little hell. It's a 70s song. It's awesome. Chloe only knows about it because we've made her listen to it at least 3 times.
No. As this go off the phone, we sit there, like, they go, Chloe? Oh, hell no. Chloe? Oh, hell no.
You're going to get a song stuck in my head again.
For example, the safety dance. That was horrible. It was right before a stream as well.
I regret nothing.
The worst part, it was right before a stream as well, no less. And I was like, don't you dare, don't you dare, don't you dare. And then I was shouting, no. And then this whole thing on Facebook came up where it was like me sticking middle finger up the pole, but it was
and hilarious. Lindsay, I do like to see that because I would take a bullet for any of my family. Any of them. My brother can be a downright pain in the ass. He actually revels in it. But I'll tell you this. if any little bitch pulled what AH did to Johnny on my brother, that's a special level of hell she wouldn't even know what to do with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about my mom. I'm talking about me. I don't look very intimidating. I really don't.
No,
Most
but
of
like
the time.
off the phone when she's pissed off, fuck me, you know about it. You know about it.
And Chloe gets more quiet when she sees I've gone quiet.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually when she's like, oh, okay, what's happened? What's
And then
happened?
then the copious amounts of cat memes, and then the copious amounts of memes, and then the I've got a song stuck in my head. Now you must get it stuck in your head.
Yeah, for one thing, she's seen me go on rants when people have like told me my brother, a freaking veteran, should die like all men. Ooh, no. Oh, or even better, call him a baby killer. I'm like, ooh, bitch, no, you didn't. Yeah, no. He's an asshole. He's a pain in my ass. But I love my brother. I love
It's like
my
that with my
father.
family.
I love the men in my life. And it kills me. It kills me. Kill all men. Coming from a veteran family, stepdad Army, brother Army, both grandfathers Army, World War II and Korean War veterans. And they do kill all men. I'm like, honey, if it weren't for those men, you wouldn't be able to get on YouTube to spout your stupid shit.
All I'm gonna say is, sweetie, go and switch places. Then you can see how long you would last when you're carrying a thing to unalive people.
All I'm saying is World War III is apparently right around the fucking corner.
Oh no, the UK has declared that we are actually in World War III.
So, you know what? You want to know what? All you women who want all men killed. Guess what? How about we draft your asses instead of the men this time? Won't you go put on an over 100-pound backpack, learn how to shoot, and we're going to put your ass on the war field.
Mm-hmm.
Let the men stay home and take care of the mechanics and the running of everything while you're gone. And then come back and tell me. Oh my God, Lindsay, I'm sorry. That's some
I'm sorry
bullshit.
as well.
That is garbage. I'm sorry, honey. That's awful. There are some people in this world, you have your good siblings, you have your shit siblings. And not everyone in family is always a decent human being that one needs to be around.
Mm-hmm. I know that one.
And
Speaking
then
of which,
and you have the family that you grow.
mm-hmm.
And to me, everyone under the neurodiverse umbrella, that means Johnny, that means Miss Chloe, that means the poor kids who are being tortured while we speak. And yes, it's always in the back of my mind at the Judge Rotenberg Center. All autistics, ADHDers, dyslexics, all of us that fit underneath that umbrella, they are all my family. They are my brothers. They are my sisters.
Excuse me.
And I will take a bullet for any one of them. If I thought that getting away with the bullet would get those kids out of that center, I would find the way to go down there and I'd do it. And Chloe knows that I'm actually speaking the truth. I would do it.
Yeah.
I would do it in a heartbeat. Because all of you, all of us, we've had to become a family. We've had to. He's just a part of it. I don't know how much he realizes he's a part of it or not. Probably more than we think he does. Somebody like Rochelle has probably informed him by this point. She's an old friend, Lizzie. She's somebody who worked with him on the Pirates movies, and she was a professional extra. A nice older lady who talks to him about him like though that he is her long lost son. Incredibly like hyper defensive. I heard this whole thing from her the first time. It was back in 2016 before it was huge in the media. Like she came over for a Memorial Day barbecue and out of nowhere she just exploded. And went off. This bitch age and just okay, wait a minute. Who the hell is she? What happened to Johnny? Who is she? Why the hell should I care what's happened? And that was both Paul and I like, whoa, hold up. Rewind. She's an older professional extra and stunt woman. And very sweet. And to see her burst like that, like I wasn't slightly frightened. That was intimidating. And I like if like somehow that freaking bitch managed to show up right then. I don't know, as tiny as she is, if I would have been able to hold Barb back, because she sounded like she wanted to scratch her eyes out.
I mean, it's fun.
I am on Insta, Miss Lindsay. I'm not that great at using it. When people were making fun of Johnny about not posting so much, I'm like, hey, leave him alone.
We exist.
Some of us do not understand Instagram. My mom understands Instagram more than I do, okay?
The thing is, I unfortunately do know about Instagram, and I did use it originally, but now it's like it's just it exists.
I follow a few people. I follow Johnny, of course, and I follow Morgan Freeman because you heard that in his voice. He's been one of my favorites since I was a kid. He's like a comfort person. You see him on screen and hear his voice, and all of a sudden you're like, everything's safe. Morgan Freeman is talking.
A game that I recommend people playing is South Park: The Fractured Butthole. Because Morgan Freeman's also in that game.
Oh, dear God. Oh, I also have a picture on my Insta of, I still call it Chickenzilla.
Chickenzilla?
Yeah, it was...
No. Hold on. I've just
I'm sorry, but that look, when I said Chickenzilla and you were like, it's like you saw it. Like there was a giant roar.
That was brilliant. That was perfectly timed. Hi.
Hi, Dwight. I would play Iron Man, but I've been doxxed by YouTube and ducked because I had music playing in the background for one of these. So I would love to, but we gotta keep the YouTube people happy because I don't want to try and figure out Twitch.
Yeah. I mean, I can't figure out like anything for the life of me. The only thing I can figure out is TikTok and Instagram Lives, and that's all I can figure out.
I'll put it in the chat, Miss Lindsay. And, you know, I don't mind putting my real name out there because semi-public figure. Everything anyone wants to know about me can be found in my local and state media.
Yes, I do spell it I do play it on my bass. But another thing is, I know I'm sounding really nitpicky, but people do not put a H in my name, please. It's just because I spell it, it's spelled differently to how people normally see it.
Don't feel bad though. I did that too once. So, oh, hi, Kitty. Are you feeling better now?
Oh. Another thing, I'm also very twitchy today, but that's because like I've been out for the first time in like a week since I've been ill, so I'm very like, what the fuck's happened?
Oh no, my
And
outing is coming soon. It's March, so Window City's getting ready to open up again, so I know what's gonna happen. Tiffany? Yes, Mom? I'm in your driveway. Okay.
oh shit. I know how it's gonna go. I
We're
actually
going to
have.
Silver Dollar City.
I'm going to. I'm going to going down to the coast to see my brother because he lives up in the up north, further up north than I do, and he lives down by the coast. At some point, if people like want to see something like that, I will start putting stuff on like my Instagram, my Facebook, or anything. So,
And I know this is random, but this is what this stream is for. Oh God, why can't there ever be a Ren Fair like they're up in St. Louis and KC here? I haven't been to a real Renaissance fair in years. Years. I love those things. I am a complete and utter history freaking nerd. She's heard me rant about when people do wrong things about history. Kind of like AH, the ableist. And this
yeah,
is why I call her an ableist, Miss Lindsay, because she's so busy in her new film playing a women psychiatrist in the 1800s. And she's going to correctly diagnose a little boy who people in the village think is demon possessed and, and diagnose him correctly with autism, a diagnosis that did not come into existence until the 30s and 40s, nor were there women psychologists in the 1800s. And yes, we do so love to be compared to demon possession. We do so, and she cures him. No, it gets better. She cures him. Yes, what all of us autistics around the world, all we need is for her to show up and correctly diagnose us and cure us.
oh.
Oh,
Also,
God.
right, it's okay.
The cat
It's
is
okay.
even glaring. The cat is glaring in stereo, okay?
Dwight, it's okay. I understand, and honestly,
I'm
I,
not
I
a.
I don't mind people spelling my name wrong. It's just a bit of a people tend to do it accidentally if they've not like noticed it until I point it out. So
Oh, but update on that. I did tell you all the autistic community would be pissed. And it's begun. She bit off way more than she could chew, deciding to take that role. It's like, you better go ask Sia what happens when you try that crap.
I'm not going to be funny, Eco Spice, but I personally think that film's going to get cancelled before it's even hit theaters.
Or we'll wreck her entire career.
Yep.
We are a group of people that pretty much, when it comes to Hollywood bullshit, take no prisoners. Like, I've shown her clips of when Sia was gaslighting us and what that all turned into. Like snippets from the conversation. I like the document. See, unlike I keep all my receipts.
Mhm.
And yeah. Oh no, name getting spelled wrong. I've spent my entire goddamn life with everybody, including teachers. Tiffany Daniel. There's an S.
Oh no, my last name. My last name is a bitch. So I had the head mistress of every single school that I went to, Chloe Corcan, and it's like it's not Corcan, it's Corken, and it's
I pronounce it as Corkin. I
yeah,
always saw it as Corkin. It might be the Missouri because E's spelled I.
yeah. But it's 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 actually an Irish thing. My right. So the beginning of my last name is Cork, which is a province in Ireland, and then the end just kind of went with it. So it's Corkin. So there's a little tidbit for everyone.
I'm sorry, but I have to say this. Your last name is bitch. Like, can that? Can I do that? No, no. Can that be a thing?
That can be canon. We are making it canon.
ADHD is genetic, Lindsay. It can't be caused any more than autism. They actually have very similar genetics. I've studied this crap for years. Sorry if I go on a little bit of a rant there.
It's okay.
But it cannot be caused. It's genetic. And usually, when someone has a neurodiverse diagnosis, usually there's someone in the family that has either has a neurodiverse diagnosis. Usually there's someone in the family that has has a neurodiverse diagnosis. Usually there's someone in the
It must
family
be something on my end. Let me fix it.
It's the open chat. If you have the open chat open,
Yeah,
then
I
it will
did.
go back.
Fixed it. Sorry, Tiffany. Sorry, Miss Chloe.
It's Merrick. Hey.
Hello, Merrick. Hi, Captain.
How are you guys doing today?
Oh, we've been having a little bit of fun. I've been going after AH's most recent movie because we all know I would. Let's face it.
I mean, it's
The
Tiffany, let's-
psychiatrist in the 1800s.
Gonna diagnose a kid correctly with autism. A diagnosis did not exist till the 30s and 40s, and we're gonna compare him to demon possession. And yes, to top it all off, this crazy bitch is going to come and diagnose me.
I mean, I could throw in it takes one to know one, but that's not true. She's flat out crazy. And nobody knows what she's thinking ever because she's a nutcase.
Did you not see the Sia situation? That was made headlines. That made headlines. That should be a warning sign that says, do not piss off the autistic community. Do not gaslight the autistic community.
I think that warning sign, the light has been out for quite some time. And she has no plans on putting a new one in there. She's like, we for like 3 metaphors here. She's not that bright. Her light went out a long time ago.
Like, we've already taken it and ran with it.
Money says that the film's going to get cancelled before it gets released.
And she may be canceled along with it. I'm so proud to be a part of this film. That just adds flames to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
She might as well have just thrown gasoline on it.
How accurate would it be to have a young blonde woman of her facial attraction, I don't think she's looks that hot now. I think she did when she was Johnny. She looked pretty good. Hey, Sean B. Anyway, do you really think that's who the psychiatrists were back then? Because I'm getting a vibe that no, it was probably mostly men, and they were probably mostly over the age of 50.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Even when she started out, it was very much, she's pretty. But I know about 10 bitches at the call center that I work with that look very remarkably similar.
And your high school, too. You've mentioned that.
I'm just saying, it's not unique
anymore.
No, not at all.
Even before,
when everybody models themselves to look the same way, nobody's going to be unique.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. If you're in Hollywood and you want that draw, you want a lasting career, you got to have that extra something. And Grace Kelly, she ain't.
No. Oh, my goodness. I made the mistake of asking somebody one time. I was like, oh, hey, I heard Amber tried out for the lead actress in the, have you guys ever seen the Viking show? It's called Vikings on, I know it's on Hulu.
It's also,
I don't have Hulu over here.
My brother got me hooked on it. He watches it religiously. He's excited for the new one to come out when he's not going on about the new Star Wars.
Okay, well, the female lead, the Rothgar's wife, I can't remember because I've only seen 2 or 3 episodes.
The new one? Yeah, I haven't had a chance because I've had to work. God. Go ahead.
She went out for the part, and somebody, I wouldn't say they ripped me a new a-hole, but they ripped me a new a-hole. And they were so passionate about how Amber could not even compete on the same level as this woman. That this woman is a warrior, and Amber is like a little rat scraping up the cheese behind her benefactor Johnny Depp when he drops it. That was probably a terrible way to put it, but you get my point.
No, I gotcha.
And did you ever hear the time she called Scarlett Johansson? Scarlett's a celebrity. I'm an actress.
Please, bitch. Please.
And that's why she deserved Rum Diaries over Scarlett. Can you imagine? What if Scarlett had done that movie? Like, Johnny's death. Ugh. I don't know why.
They're probably creating him
so different.
Creating what I call them little sisters as opposed to friends. Other than creating, what would probably be a beautiful friendship, a new little sister for him to dote on. Probably his life would have been a hell of a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
For one thing, she is intelligent. She actually is.
I used to think she was very intelligent, and now I give her maybe moderate intelligence. Have you ever had your IQ tested?
I have. My IQ is 186.
Oh, you are way off the charts.
Yeah, I would run circles like Miss AH. I have an IQ of 213. Want to get in debate with me, bitch?
I don't believe for one second that Amber has a 213. No.
I just feel like, pick a topic.
That makes her like Elon Musk level kind of genius, and I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I feel embarrassed to say it out loud because it's a very low number.
Well, see, Paul back there, he's been tested like years and years ago. He's on Elon's level.
Really?
Through multiple connections, he's connected to Elon because he's been trying to buy the technology he and his friend Dallas developed, encryption technology, for many, many, many years. And they're getting really pissy and impatient with the guy.
Okay. Well, mine was in the 130s.
Which is still brilliant, in my opinion. But go ahead. Sorry.
It's good, but it's not like the best. Do you, before I forget to ask, because I will forget to ask, do either of you excel in the area of finances, or do you know somebody you could point me along to who does?
Well, my uncle Wayne, I would say, besides from being crazy, and in spite of doing commercials for his old car lot that make him seem not so intelligent, is actually very brilliant when it comes to finances and how to invest. He's kind of.
Do you think he would be willing to talk with me about questions I have about the financial documents?
If he had the time these days, he's helping others franchise his rent-to-own cars idea. Yep, I will claim that. That's one part I'm actually proud of. He was the one who came up with the idea of the rent-to-own car and patented it. Thank God. But
wow.
Yeah,
He's got to be filthy rich.
Oh yeah, he's loaded. He's loaded. That's why I tell people like, H, you want to come after the peasants? I'm like, I myself am not wealthy, but I have certain family members who are. Paul has a family that is ridiculously powerful and ridiculously wealthy.
Don't go there. Don't go there today.
No, I'm just saying overall, like, you're just peasants. Like, what are we? Are we bots? Are we getting paid by him? Because seriously, would I live in the Bible Belt if Johnny Depp was paying me? Seriously.
No.
Right. Oh, I've had people tell me
I'm a Christian, and even I know that. So yeah. If you do know anybody that could help me make sense of these documents and some now defunct companies and other companies that are loan out companies to, I don't know, she's doing something shady. It looks shady, but I don't know how to say, hey, here's where the shady starts and here's where it ends.
Okay, send those to me. I'm going to send them to Paul.
Awesome. I'm also going to give you my messenger name.
Okay.
It's not my real name, but either way, guard it with your life because it's connected to other accounts that could find me through them.
Yeah, just DM it to me.
Okay.
We're under enough firewalls and encryptions to this place that we are probably more safe than the Pentagon.
It's basically Fort Knox.
Wait, DM them to you where, on Twitter or?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your Twitter, Miss Chloe? Do you have one?
I do, but I can't actually get to it at the moment.
It sounds like something I would do. I feel
no. Basically, what it is, the phone that I've got at the moment decides to brick itself anytime that I try and log on to Twitter. So it's like, dang.
I did not know what bricking a phone meant until last week. Did you not?
It's okay. I'm still embarrassed about when I was in the UK eons ago now, back in 2007. And I was at a Black Crowes concert, and right next to me there was a dude, I'm going to go outside to smoke a fag. And, like, my head whipped around. I'm like, you're going to do what?
A fag is one of these.
Yeah, I know, but in America, we know what I mean.
I know that.
I know. I was in my 20s. British slang was not huge over here, nor had I developed my interest in watching BBC documentaries or old episodes of Doctor Who yet. So,
I was listening to the radio this morning, and they were talking about like pretty much 80s and 90s-ish movies that when you look at them now, you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, how did we find that funny? Like Revenge of the Nerds, there's a legitimately R blank P blank scene in the movie, and it gets laughed at and cheered on.
Yeah, there was some that was horrible, but there was some good stuff that got looked over too.
Yeah, well, the one I was listening to this morning, they were just looking at the ones where, if you look back now, it makes you uncomfortable, even though back then made you slightly uncomfortable, but you laughed anyway.
I never watched Revenge of the Nerds in spite of being one. That one didn't really hold any interest for me because I'm all like, why would I want to watch my life?
I mean, that is true. That is relatable.
I'm just saying. I mean, I've been a massive nerd, egghead brain. What I believe it over in Britain you would call me a SWAT. Since I was about 10 years old, I've always been that, and I've always been a complete and utter Marvel nerd, which is why I have engaged in heated debate with Zod on live stream in the DC versus Marvel.
Hold on, Zod. I'm having a brain fart. Oh, Zod.
Turtle Zod. Yeah.
Oh, Zod.
Stevie Zod. Rob Roll Zod. I think they share custody. That's horrible to say. I'm sorry.
I thought it was cute.
And I'm pretty sure Zod has adopted Gary.
Gary!
Yeah, I introduced her to Gary and Keeley, and
I was gonna say Keeley adopted Gary already.
I'm pretty sure her whole family has adopted Gary. God, that makes me so happy.
Together.
God, like that was the kind of Christmas gift that I wanted to see. Is to see him come up there and surprise her. Just it warmed my what some people call my cold black heart.
What's one of those, Tiff? I don't have a heart according to my neighbors.
That's because they have the dumb.
Who knows? I'm gonna.
We're not talking about your neighbors.
Have dumb neighbors.
Yeah, let's not go there. Because rough week.
I know what will cheer you.
The brown.
I was like, no.
The cat just went, nope.
And meow. And I'm getting a dirty look.
Tiffany, I have a pop quiz for you. Do you remember me telling you my first name? Don't say it out loud. Just tell me if you remember.
No, honestly, no.
Oh my gosh, how dare you?
I forget my own name, and on occasion will ask Chloe, who am I and where's my horse?
Yes, this has been multiple times, especially when Paul was in the hospital. It was like, Chloe.
Read the private chat.
Oh, okay.
You too, Chloe.
I'll just keep calling you Captain.
Yay! There are many of us. Oh my God, my mom named me after a Days of Our Life actress. I'm like, oh my
Mom. Into the private chat.
Yeah, I saw it.
No, I mean now. Look now.
Oh. Oh. Hey, I do forget my own name on occasion. I am constantly working, but I'm not doing this, or I'm not on the phones. I am researching for videos and looking into the JRC. So get this, Captain Obvious. I got not one, but two things to have an eye on constantly in May. So not only do I want to be there in Virginia, but here's what's going to be happening while I'm there, because I already see myself there. I don't know how it's going to happen. I just know that it is. It's one of those weird things. But I'm also going to be watching because at the same time in May, the bill to stop the abuse at the Judge Rotenberg Center against the people with disabilities and the torture going on there is going on to the Massachusetts Senate floor at the same time.
Well, you know what? Johnny's trial is going to be, 3 weeks long, 4 weeks long?
Mm-hmm.
I say go over to the JDRC and see what you need to see there, and then show up for Johnny on another day or 2 or 3 or 10.
Oh, no, they're way too far apart. We're talking like 2 different states. That is
Oh, wow, that sucks. Yeah.
No,
Right
I might
now,
be what?
I'm trying to get like a collaboration ride to Virginia, where I would pick up.
Well, I would need a pickup. Obviously, I can't drive.
Where are you at?
I am out in southwestern Missouri.
I'm in
have to
Essex.
look at a map to see how far that is. Where are you at, Chloe?
I live in Essex, England.
Oh, yeah, I'll just drive over there and pick you up too. Road trip.
I mean, I need to book my ticket to get to America, but
Oh, no, I was just going to drive on over, right on over the huge ocean barrier.
Maybe we'll pick up a few corals while we're driving on the ocean floor.
I am trying to do my darndest to get there, and I might be able to pick up somebody on the way. I'm really trying to make it work. If you are in our way, maybe we could hook up and get you too. I don't know if she wants me saying her name, so I'm going to put that here in the private chat.
Okay.
I don't think she cares, but I want to be careful and protect her privacy.
yeah, understood, Captain.
No, I get you. But yeah, I'm about 45 miles outside Branson. Screw it. I don't care if they dox me. Go ahead, turd stains. I got nothing to hide. But I live out in Springfield, Missouri, in
What's your zip code?
65804, and we're out by a lot of colleges: MSU, Evangel, OTC. God, the Bible College, please kill me.
Oh, be nice.
I'm in the
I would be nice if they were nice to me.
What have they done to you?
Oh, it's the sort of thing of I'm well known for being a self advocate for disability and autism and neurodiversity rights. And anytime I go out in public, especially out on the buses with some of these people going to that school, I get a whole lot of just praying God will take the autism away. You don't have enough faith. I'm like,
I wouldn't change my autism for the world.
And
Most people I've spoken to say the same, Chloe. Most autistic people I've spoken to say the same.
There is nothing goddamn wrong with me. It's a part of what makes me so brilliant and makes me so unique. It makes me a unique voice within our movement. And part of why I know the system inside and out the way that I do is because it became, what do they call them, Chloe? Special interests.
Mm-hmm.
I hyper-focused on it, and I learned a lot, and I've used it to help a lot of people, and I'm still using it.
I'm sure you're not going to agree with me, but I'm going to toss it out there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to put money on it, I would say you personally, as a human being, are an answer to prayers to help autistic people. Because you're getting out there and you're doing the work, boots to the ground. How long have you been working on this? Years.
I've been going against the JRC for 14 years. God.
If it's not a godsend, I don't know what is.
But the DC Circuit Court, because we won in 2020, they made the ban. FDA made the ban. And then the DC Circuit Court overturned it.
Oh my gosh.
And I haven't felt that broken since my dad died. Like Chloe saw my face.
I'm so sorry.
Because that kid, that video, you can find it on YouTube, School of Shock. Then Andre McCollins and the specials that happened on him in 2012, getting shocked with a skin shock device designed to hurt people at 45 milliamps, just barely below the lethal limit, over 31 times within a 7-hour period for refusing to remove his coat.
What is a 100-pound dog recommended to keep them in their yard?
It's lower than a taser, which is 4.
Because I had a friend who bought one for their dog, and I said I wasn't going to let her put it on the dog until we tested it on ourselves first.
Understood.
And it felt like this. But that might have been the brand I bought.
Yeah, I get you.
Well, I didn't buy it. She bought it, but she was living in my house at the time.
Right, but basically, Chloe has watched the video, and even she couldn't speak. It's so horrifying. And the fact is, it actually goes downhill from there, which she's been watching the videos, and every time I bring up something new, like the behavioral rehearsal lessons where the staff will jump out at them, grab them, brandish a knife, and say, do you want to eat this? Do you want to eat this? And if they don't respond at all, they get shot.
What's wrong with these people?
If they do respond and scream and fight back in self-defense, they get shocked even more.
For fighting back and non-compliant with the treatment.
And then there's the food contingency program, in which
Do I even want to know?
they literally, by making them do manual tests and being on good behavior, make them earn. I thought it was bad when they said they deprive them of dinner due to behaviors, but I've since learned they make them earn by little tasks every single bite of their dinner.
Are you still following the Britney Spears conservatorship stuff?
I am, yeah. And Jenny's been sending me stuff.
What's going on there? Is she okay?
As far as I know, she's okay and she's fighting back. And I'm really glad to actually see it, because this is the first time I've seen a celebrity not suddenly disappear once they got theirs. Like, I don't see Johnny doing it either. But as far as she was concerned, I was never a fan. I hated her music when I was a kid. Like,
yeah, I don't like too much of her.
Special level hate there. Not towards her as a person, but just her music. To this day, I can't do it.
Yeah, you're into like metal and hard rock, right?
Blues, jazz, Johnny Cash, Louis Armstrong, Judy Garland.
Love,
basically mine
love
and
the last
tits.
three you named.
Like, I worship at the throne of Judy Garland. My God.
Isn't it crazy how Liza Minnelli's voice sounds just like her?
It is, to a point. I can tell the differences, but I can hear little details.
I think
Most
a lot of
it's the same, but Liza has a little pizzazz to it. That's just hers.
But I also think that drugs and alcohol played a role, because they do change your vocal cords if you don't take care of them.
Well, what happened to her was not her fault. What happened to Judy was terrible.
Yeah.
But the studios they put her on those uppers, those downers, those lose weight quick pills, called her the little gnome of MGM. God.
They gave her the Wizard of Oz, took it back, said they were going to give it to, what's the little curly, cute-haired one?
Shirley Temple.
Yeah, gave it to Shirley Temple, but Shirley Temple wasn't right for the part, couldn't sing the songs. So they reluctantly gave it back to
Judy.
Judy.
Anyone who called her
Lovely.
a little ugly gnome, I'm like, did you see her face? God. She had one of the most perfect symmetrical faces of the time period.
I'd have to relook. I haven't looked at a ton of pictures of her. I've never thought she was like attractive or not attractive. I thought she kind of hung right in the middle there.
Yeah, but they did to her.
But I'll have to go back and look. It depends on what age she was too.
And yeah, don't get me started on my love of Billie Holiday.
Girl.
Hey, Chloe, don't roll your eyes.
I love Billie Holiday too until I saw a movie and wow.
Louis Armstrong too. And Frank Sinatra, my God. But just don't play My Way Around Me, not because I hate it, but that was when my dad died, my brother Michael. There's 2 Mike Daniels in the world. People, be afraid. Be very afraid. But the older one, after my dad died, we went down to a dive bar that was down from the hotel. And they had a record machine, and he asked me, play something that Dad would have liked. And that was the song. Like, I went to see Sing when it came out in the theaters, when Mike the Mouse came out.
I wouldn't have expected that from you.
And doing that song, I just, God, I'm like, it's the Onion Ninjas.
Hey, I came in here really quick, not too terribly long ago, and I immediately exited because I have a thing about it. Did you have dental surgery?
I had teeth removed. I had this one, and no, that one was already gone. And this one, and this one.
So she looked like a chipmunk for a couple of days.
Oh yeah, her face was totally swollen. You could tell she had oral surgery.
Yeah, it was my wisdom teeth because they had started to crack and crumble.
Aww.
It was incredibly painful.
Yeah. I had all 4 of mine out with while I was awake, and the doctor who gave me the numbing stuff that they give you. He gave me some, and he starts working on me, and I'm gripping the chair. I'm trying to be tough and not be the person that whines. And he sees my fingers scratching into the chair, and he goes, "Can you feel this?" And I said, "Mm-hmm." And he said, "Why didn't you tell me? You're not supposed to be able to feel any of this. Why didn't you tell me?" And I was like, I thought I was supposed to be a trooper and not complain.
No, I was shot up so much that I had to save the stream for the following Tuesday. I was still a chipmunk.
Oh, you were a chipmunk though.
Yes, I was. And I saw everywhere, earlier, there are people hotter than AH. I'm like, all of us here on this panel and in this lovely chat room, we're all more gorgeous than AH because it takes more than a bottle of bleach blonde. And, oh, look at me and my perfectly chiseled surgeon. Oh, God. Makes me want to use a Groucho Marx joke, so I'm going to. She got her looks from her father. He was a plastic surgeon.
That's why I asked what type of music I like. My taste is fairly similar to Tiffany's, actually, believe it or not, guys.
Which one? Kidding.
There's a
no,
lot. Like when I choose to put on makeup and I have to go to one of these meetings in Jeff City or here in town or Kansas City or Columbia, they call it my corporate goth look because, yeah, I have the suit and the dark makeup and usually
this is
black
pain.
jewelry.
You probably
This is-
wouldn't approve of my adjective, but I think that sounds adorable. I'm sorry, Chloe. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
It's okay. My makeup
Okay,
is
that
pain.
has tempted fate. You guys keep talking.
What I've got on is pretty tame to what I normally wear. Because I think a couple of streams ago I did something really, really like outrageous and just been like, whoa. For example, I had like a pair of like wings that I made. It was a pain in the ass to do, don't ask why. And I had like these like wings on like it was quite painful to do. And then multiple times I've tried to rock up to work looking sussily more goth, and then work has just been like, Chloe, don't you dare.
You guys are friends IRL as well, correct?
Correct.
I had been meaning to ask you, Tiffany, but I didn't want to push too far. But you're one of those people who will just tell me, yo, you're asking too much, step off, and I won't be offended at all if that's what you say.
Pretty
So
much.
you talk about your call centers. What kind of call center, like, is it auto related or retail related?
Retail.
Oh wow, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
I mean, I've worked in retail. It sucks a lot of dick. Because
Yes, it does.
no, the main one was I brought it up on stream, but I'm still gonna bring it up because this one really agitated me. There was this old couple coming in, and they were like, "Oh, autistics having like the color orange," and I'm just like,
The
bearing
hell?
in mind, I've got a can of Monster in one hand, I'm ringing them up on the other, and I'm just like, continue. And they were like, what do you mean? And I'm just like, whilst I'm standing there, I'm looking at my co-worker. My co-worker's looking at me, and it's just like, and I'm like, send help, send help, send help, send help, send, with the look of send help. So I'm drinking my can of Monster in one hand, and I'm ringing them up on the other, and it's like, is that everything? And then they turned around and they ordered scratch cards, which were number ones, number twos. I hate the feel of scratch cards. That's the one thing. I hate the feel of scratch cards.
Okay, corporate goth, folks. When I was about Chloe's age.
Okay, so Captain Obvious was correct again. Adorable.
I got more here. Let's see. This is more relatively recent.
You're in your mid-30s, correct?
37.
Yeah, that counts as mid.
I was about
You look so much
30
younger
there.
than 37, though.
But corporate goth, and because I have to, let me see if I can find that Halloween. What I did for Halloween.
I think I've got it on my Facebook, but the thing is, it's a pain in the royal ass to like scroll back through mine and Paul's chats. There it is. Tiffany, you missed it.
Here's one.
Yeah.
That was one Halloween.
I've got several looks I've done, but the thing is, they're all on my messenger, and I'm just like, yeah, do I have to?
Here's the whole look with
The headpiece and everything.
Oh, my best friend celebrates Day of the Dead.
Because I have to, everyone.
Multiple reasons.
This is Emma, and Emma is my mom's dog, and she is a princess.
She is. I saw a picture of that long time ago.
All right, we're done. Like with me embarrassing myself.
My turn to embarrass myself. The worst part is, like, I've had to scroll through one of my chats on my Facebook, so... Okay, I'm not sure how it's going to do its justice, but...
Wait. Don't embarrass yourself before I come back. I'm looking for something real quick.
Okay, give her this clue.
How it's going to do.
Miss Emma is Her Royal Highness Princess Emma, who has her own puppy bed, and she has two because she has to have one to make it sit up, so it's more like a puppy throne. And she has all her toys around it, and she has her holiday outfits. And about once a month, my mom takes her to the puppy spa to go get her nails done. It's real, folks. Like, my God, that dog gets more pampered than I will. Ever, probably. See you later, Jenny. I'm sorry I didn't catch all your comments, hon. I'm trying to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And yes, DJH. All quotes of Groucho Marx are valid. Thank you, Dwight. I appreciate it. But yes, we love the Bulldogs, and Miss Emma is the one we all spoil. Oh,
Would you mind if I asked Sean B to put a link to my Twitter, because I put a question in the thing?
Please, like, shamelessly self-plug your show, all of it. Yep. We all know I do it on Zods when I can actually catch Zod these days. Like, folks, I'm not avoiding anyone on YouTube. I'm not trying to do that. It's just I work all the time, and I have call center weekends now. If I try to stay up till, like, midnight, I may, like, get 2 hours of sleep before I have to wake up. Oh, and this is him.
Mr. Meow. Mr. Meow.
Say hi to the peoples.
Hi, Mama.
Like, no. He angry. He's all white, Mr. Mew. And he's the prettiest of us all. Except maybe Church.
Church has got eyeliner that makes me jealous.
No, that stream before last, like, she took over the second half of the stream.
Oh, damn, she did. She did. She made me jealous of her eyeliner.
Who isn't jealous of her eyeliner?
Point.
And you all have eyeshadow game. I have no eyeshadow game. I try. I take the 2 tutorials. I look.
You take the what?
Like, these girls and their makeup. Like Miss Chloe and Keely. And I try to get it right. I do. I try to get it right. But I never do. And it irks me.
I was trying to land a joke because it sounded like you said, I try to take their 2 tutorials.
Tutor.
That's how it sounded, at least.
At least I didn't say turditorial.
Some of my stuff is really hard to do because I'm not sure if I've ever been on the phone to Tiffany with me doing my makeup. So I'll be standing there in my bathroom and I'll just be like, come on. And I fucked it. And I'll get the phone call from Rambo.
Oh, that's okay. Like, I'll be on a phone call. Damn it, Mom. Oh, no, she's heard me, like, okay. So you know when Yanni went on Discord?
Yep.
Right? Like per usual, when he does anything, it breaks my internet. And I get pissy. It basically what she heard, and this is coming from a completely different room that's on the other side of the house. God damn it, Johnny, quit breaking my fucking internet.
What was this one time, like, you said something about something going down, and I was just like blame Johnny.
He killed the internet again. It's his fault. Like, no, I'm not gonna blame him this time. He didn't do it.
Yeah.
Wait,
But
where do
like,
you say you live?
right, like he got on Discord, and I kid you not just Discord went down, but all of a sudden everything went down. Like my phone, my call center, we do everything through internet, including Slack chat and everything. Everything went down.
Oh no.
And we were just taking calls with blank screens and in and out connections, everybody. And I'm all like, son of a bitch.
But I meant, what state are you in?
Oh, I'm in Missouri.
Okay.
Guys,
I
I
just
found
learned yesterday that Nebraska, if you look at the T-Mobile commercials, there's a Nebraska-sized hole right in the middle of it. And for 2 seconds, I thought maybe you lived in Nebraska. Go ahead, Chloe.
I have found a picture of one of my makeup looks.
Okay, show us.
Okay. Let me do the magic. The magic. That was one of my makeup looks I did a long time ago. I want to recreate it.
It's actually really cool looking.
Is it a character, or it was just something you were doing for fun?
What it was, I was very much so into my into the Black Veil Brides and that, and at the time, and I went to go and see them a couple of months before I actually took the photo, and it was his and I just kind of went, I'm kind of in a mood to do my makeup look, so I just kind of got up a reference photo on my phone, and I was looking for it, and it was very hard for me to do because I was just sitting there. I was looking at these phones. I was on an S7 at the time, so I was like, come on. And then I was looking at it. I was looking at what I was doing, and it was so painful because I had like 20 things going on. I had to hide half of my beauty marks, which were like, I've got one up right near my eye, one there, and then one on my cheek. And he's only got one like there, which was the bassist of Black Veil Brides, which is Ashley Purdy. And it was so painful to do, to say the least. And I did it eventually. I told my mum. She was like, don't you dare ever do that again. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to do the next one now. And then it was and then the next one I did was Andy Black's, and then his one was more painful to do. His one was a lot more painful to do because I actually had to like focus on what he was like, how his makeup was set, and I'm trying to find it now. Found it. It was such a pain in the royal backside to do because it was like really disgusting. Like the way that I had to do it was so disgusting. It was actually very painful. So there you go.
Do you guys mind if I answer Sean real quick?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I keep forgetting I'm not in charge. Sean said, did you want me to post a link to your Twitter account on here? Sorry for my confusion. Yeah, Sean, I'm looking for people who know about finances and stuff. And if you guys know anybody that does, can you post my link to Twitter so they can contact me through DMs on Twitter?
I'll let Paul know. Just to let you know, though, he trolls a lot.
I would probably need you to be there then as my
Well, he won't troll you.
gauge.
He likes taking the piss out of Putin and Trump. Like, he takes deep, deep joy.
Well, I can give as good as I can take. I just need to know where the lines are drawn beforehand and how far I can take it.
Oh, no, I mean, like, Chloe's, like, hand over eyes, like, oh, God.
Yeah, I figured that wasn't a good sign.
No, he doesn't do it to us or any of us people here, but there's, like, specific targets in the world, kind of like me with Elon, who I've got a bone to pick. That has nothing to do about Miss Sang. That,
All I'm
Yeah,
going to
because
say
of his-
is he'll have his moments.
so
Because
years
of
ago,
autism.
yeah, well, other than claiming to be one of us, which I still take with a grain of salt.
Yep.
But anyways, years ago on an interview, he was talking about those brain chips, and it can cure things, horrible diseases like Alzheimer's and autism, and we'll just put it in their brains and fix them. Like, oh no, you didn't. I owe that man a throat punch from the whole.
I owe him a meat cleaver to the bollocks.
Oh, damn. I would pay. Should we sell tickets?
Yes.
Indubitably.
Like seriously, I had a bone to pick with him far before he got involved with Miss Thang. Like, dude, then of course, Paul thought that he was probably duped too, and that he needed, they called it on the Boondocks, the anime cartoon. What he needed was a bitch dependency intervention. But
For Elon, it's like acquisition. If he wants something, he's going to acquire it just for the pride of saying he could.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to Amber, I am sorry. Elon is a smart man. He knows how these things work. He knows about velocity and speed and all those other calculus figures that get thrown into it.
well, you
He's
don't
going to know that Johnny did not cause that mark from 5 feet away, throwing the phone as hard as he could.
I'm sorry. Like I said, my mom's been in healthcare longer than a lot of these bitches, including AH, have been alive.
Yeah.
I grew up around hospitals, used to wait for either my mom or dad to get off work to drive me home after school. I would see people come into the ERs, and I saw it more often when my brother worked at Mercy down here. People coming in. I know what a broke nose, a black eye, and a split lip looks like. And due to my mom being a radiology technologist, her business literally is x-raying bones and setting bones and taking care of bones. That's her job.
Hold up. You've been holding out on me? You got a radiologist at home and a brother who's a doctor too?
No, he was a medical assistant. He now works for Amazon. They treat him better. But I know, like, God, I do need to get her on here, but she's constantly working all the time. But just to talk,
If you do get her on here, please let me know. I have so many questions I want to ask.
like, because with shattered ribs, and she could tell you this, the immediate danger, the immediate fear with shattered ribs is a punctured lung.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're going to tell me is she refused to go to a hospital, and she soldiered on with the threat of having a punctured lung from multiple areas, and then proceeded to move around like Wacky Wild Inflatable Tube Man. And she was in agony, but she soldiered on. That's
Can
not.
you believe I just did that show with 2 black eyes?
And my ribs were shattered, honey. You wouldn't be able to stand, talk, or breathe.
And as if that wasn't worse enough, she goes directly over to the backstage camera and does a fighting position and then opens her mouth as wide as she can to prove there's no cuts on the inside of her mouth. Like, she's dumber than dumb when it comes to things like that.
Like literally moving around like Wacky Wild Inflatable Tube Man with shattered ribs. Like, honey, if you moved around like that with shattered ribs, you would have punctured your lungs in multiple places and would have been forced to have to go to the hospital immediately. That's punctured lungs, that's internal bleeding. The list literally goes on and on. Or the fragments that could get lost in the bloodstream. There's a lot of medical issues that can go horribly wrong if you don't call the hospital right away. Get someone like my mom in there to x-ray literally while they extract the pieces out. Literally extract the pieces out. That's literally part of what they have to do in order to reset and hopefully heal the damage before it causes internal bleeding or punctured lung. And she avoided it because she didn't want to get him in trouble or him mad at her. Please.
Okay, hold up. I'm gonna attempt to put my camera on, but I'm gonna try and cover my face as well.
Oh, you're fine.
If you've got face covering, you can do that.
Yeah, I do.
Be like phantasmagorical. She does it all the time.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Oh, I'm in the wrong one to put my face on the stream.
It's okay. In the meantime, I'm going to talk about how do you put yourself in stream.
Never mind, I'm here.
There it is. Nice
Hi.
background.
It came with Yard, whatever, stream Yard.
I'm jealous of that fireplace and that piano. I'm not gonna lie.
It is pretty, isn't it? But I'm never on camera, so I can't use it.
I'm more jealous of the one with a flute because my crazy fucking psychotic ex and his sister took my flute that my mom spent over 3 years covering to pay for me to be able to have. Ooh, we won't go there. Oof, I'm still salty.
Okay, let's pretend I'm Johnny and you guys are Amber and we are standing 6 to 10 feet apart. All right.
Maybe I should do this. Get my hair out.
Well, she was sitting cross-legged, which I believe she meant Indian style. And he takes the bottle and he winds it up. I'm sorry, the phone. Winds it up like a baseball pitcher and okay, in the time that it took somebody to wind all the way back, then actually throw the phone into my face.
Fucking duck.
I could have had my hands up in front of my face 3 times. Like, where are her reflections? I don't know, unless maybe John used the phone.
Goddamn, I'm autistic and I can tell you, duck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, duck. Put your arm up, anything.
I have had.
Other than let it hit your face and then say, "Ow, Johnny, you hit me in the face."
I'm sorry, but my ex used to, in his rages when he was throwing tables and shit, would throw things. Duck and weave. Duck and weave.
Float like a butterfly, swing like a bee.
Duck and weave.
Don't do what Chloe did and dramatically faceplant the door.
I can't say shit. I've face planted the wall so many times.
But basically, you know how the cartoons go like that?
Yes.
Oh no.
I slipped out of my shoes and then tried to didn't realize. I tried to grab the I tried to press the emergency door stop, the emergency door release.
2 seconds, you guys. I gotta mute.
Which was fun. But I pulled my shoulder out. I pulled my whole arm out, and then I was just like covering, like I was clutching my face and walking in and limping. And then like there's still CCTV footage of me doing what I did in the building somewhere. So basically, I went like that. I slipped out of my shoe, went like that, and then just slipped down.
I would have paid to see that.
And then, but the worst part was, like, okay, so I was right outside my front door at the time. Before I actually proper went like that to the door.
Yeah.
Like, there's still a mark of where I was like, I had my face like pressed up against it. And there's still a dent where I hit the door hard.
Here's what I don't get. Again, I've been around people coming in from abusive situations into the hospital. So does anyone want to explain to me? Okay, so he wound it up. A phone would fly straight on its face to make a perfect phone print. Not to mention that type of velocity would done serious damage to the eye. Like the chick who plays Supergirl, you can see the damage that was done.
Why is it always done to that side of the face? He's right-handed. And when she describes him pulling her around by the hair, she says he was grabbing the right side of my head. Well, that would be Johnny's left hand. First of all, was that the one with the finger? No, the finger was on his right. You're going to use your dominant hand to do heavy lifting, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he punched me in the back of his head. His brains are ridiculous heavy. If he would have punched her in the back of the head, she would have had a fucking concussion.
I am going to bring you guys with me, but I'm going to mute my end so I can listen to you. My dad's looking for AAA batteries, so I got to go help him find them.
I know the saga of the AAA batteries very well.
The funny part is,
Pardon?
It's fun because I'll be shouting in my flat and I'll just be like, "Where the fuck are my batteries?" And then everyone will and then next thing I hear is, "Uh-oh. Come in, door's unlocked." Chloe, what are you screaming about this time? I've lost my batteries. As in your monster or your actual batteries? And they'll be like, "Oh."
No, I don't think she was planning on losing the gravy train, folks. I'm going to tell you why. Because it's so piss poor planned. Yes, I'm going to use my mom's terminology. It was half-assed. Badly. And I'll say it again because I will never be over it. Remember, I went to school for graphic arts. That's not what I ended up being the major part of my life, but I went to school for graphic arts. And seeing those photos posted everywhere and being the graphic artist that I am and looking at that and their shitty ass way of trying to save her photos to make it look like actual injuries, like I cringed internally for the poor bastard who had to turn that in and somehow they had to convince the world that those were magically the injuries that she said. I'm like, my God, was that poor kid fired? Was he just starting out? Because, God, those are the worst fake photos I have ever seen. Go ahead, Chloe.
I'm a special effects makeup artist, or was. And half of the bruises that I could make just from doing, just from replicating what I used to, anytime I got a bruise. And I'm going to talk about it on here because I feel as though it is right for me to talk about it. because it's been almost a year ago to the day. So so my psycho ex-boyfriend turned around and said to me, "You can do special effects makeup art, can't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what do you want me to do?" He was like, "Oh, I want you to do a bruise on my face." And I'm just like, so I'm sitting there looking at the side of my face and then doing this makeup. And then everyone would be saying, like, did he actually get bruised? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this was back when I was with him. I was like, yeah. But now it's like, now that I'm not with him, it's like, no. That was me doing special effects. That was me doing what I could do best, knowing what I can do. And some of these bruises that I did were so realistic. Everyone turned around and gone, holy shit. But that's because I replicated them.
You didn't. That's when you were hiding your cheek areas from me and Paul when you were talking to us, wasn't it?
Eco Spice, I completely agree with you. Eco said, who even sits cross-legged on the phone when there's an argument with someone they're, quote, so scared of anyway?
I'm going to show you when I was getting things thrown at me what I was doing. It's kind of hard to do, but it was hunched like this, slightly shaking and flinching.
Aww.
That's what I looked like when I couldn't move because I have PTSD from childhood. And so he was doing that, and that was kicking in. So I just was still slightly shaking and flinching. And I'll be honest, a lot of times it wasn't towards me. He had a special target. It was his sister. And how I got out of that relationship, and I've told this story before, was his mother had died, and it was me, his sister, and him for 6 months. I think I aged 30 years in those 6 months. And he would go after her. And yeah, that particular night, her and I got at it. She was her own piece of work. Don't let me fool you. This was not a good individual.
No worries. I wasn't going to think they were. Trust me.
But her and I got into an argument because he had spent all day. He would have back-to-back grand mal seizures, one right after the other, 5 minutes in between them. And she left us there all day with no phone. And then she comes back, and he's finally okay again. And I'm calmed down. This was back when I was drinking. I'll say I was drinking to keep myself some form of sanity. And so I was drinking, glad he had calmed down, stopped yelling and throwing things. And I was drinking at the computer. And then she had me go back there and have a talk with her where basically calling me a user, and I was just taking. And this is coming from someone living off of and spending wildly the money that her mom left her when she died. And just blowing through it. While leaving me at home alone with him for days. And I was the one that was keeping the place clean, feeding the cats, making sure with what minuscule shit that I had at the house due to her not being there and being willing to buy groceries to make sure everybody ate. And I let her have it. I'm like, so you're the one who's been here every day cleaning the house, keeping everybody sane, taking care of the cats, taking care of your brother while you're gone all day, when he has seizure after seizure after seizure, and I have no way to get a hold of an ambulance. You're the one who holds him to his side while he's seizing, while getting hit. At the same time, not voluntarily at that moment, it's a violent grand mal seizure, in order to keep control of his limbs so he doesn't do anything to help himself, hours on end. So you're the one doing all of this. And I slammed the door and walked out. And I felt like I owned that particular conversation because she just went oddly quiet. And then he just wouldn't stop. He kept asking me and demanding and asking and demanding and asking and demanding. And I am pissed off, sad, and had just had it with the planet at that point. So I finally told him. So he grabs one of his replica samurai swords made special for him. And he takes it off the mantle. And he goes storming back and busts into her door. And I haul ass to the back bedroom right behind him. And I come in and I find him with his back to the floor, and she's over him, and he's got the blade like this over her throat.
Oh my gosh.
And it's half scabbard. And I'm pulling on the sword to grab it out. But strength like that when he was in psycho mode. And I could have got the sword through me. Thankfully, the way I was standing, it just really got my hands.
Yeah, thank goodness.
And she just screams at me to go call the cops. Remember, we don't have a phone. So it's about 3 a.m. Well, actually midnight about this time. I go haul ass to my poor, nice neighbors who barely spoke a word of English. Banging on their door at midnight. I had no shoes. I was in my pajamas, screaming bloody murder. Who knows what those poor people thought. But they let me in and they sat in there with me. I don't remember who they are, but God bless them wherever they are. They were very comforting, sweet people. And I dialed the cops. And I refused. I stayed there until she was in the ambulance and the cops had taken him away. And then I went back to the house. And I had an old backpack of mine. And I put the one picture of my dad who had died in 2008. And like one shirt, a pair of jeans. Like, I was so upset, I didn't even think to get my wallet. I was just putting shit in the bag. And she comes back from the hospital. And instead of, being happy that I had saved her life, I was proceeded to be called a whore and a thief, and that she wanted to be out of that house right that moment. And I yelled at her, I would be happy to, but I don't have a phone to call my mom to come and get me. But she kept screaming. So I grabbed.
Is that still the case? You still don't have one?
Well, I have a phone now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm long ago.
I was gonna say, I'll buy you a cheap one. We got to get you.
This is like 7 to 8 years ago.
Okay.
Back in we're talking 2014 here.
Okay.
And I grabbed my jacket, and I could only find my pair of sandals. So I just threw on these sandals. I had my jacket on, my pair of jeans in my backpack. And I walked 7 miles to my granny's house, banged on her door. It was 3 a.m. at this point. My hands are still bleeding. And Granny let me in, and my Uncle Lloyd was there. And thankfully, they had been up just watching old movies. And then she had me call my mom. And just to hear somebody who gave a damn about me and if I was okay, just to hear, but are you doing okay to this day?
Yeah.
And we had been estranged because that family, it was a setup from the beginning.
You and your mom had been estranged?
Yeah. Like they fed on old things that had to do with my childhood. And
You guys are close now, though, right?
Oh, yeah. And worked to basically separate us and isolate me. Basically, they wanted somebody to take care of Zach's ass. And they were going to use me and isolate me from my family to do it. And they did for a time. They used old anger from my childhood that was misplaced because it wasn't them that did it in my childhood. My mom and they were working. And the stepbrother and the horrific crap he did to me, he was out of control. But that's
From start to finish, how many years did you waste on these people?
With Scott?
Well, not waste on them, but how many years did they steal from your youth?
7 years.
Wow.
And then
that's a common law marriage.
And then Scott, my stepbrother, that's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah. But
I've told that story before, and yeah, it's a miracle I survived any of that. But this was later on. And my mom came and got me, and then the next day, after my brother, it's one of those things like, yes, my brother's an asshole, but he's my asshole. And he has a good heart, and he's very protective of me. And he gave me some of his old workout pants that didn't fit him anymore. And he gave me a shirt to wear. And we went out that day and got me at least a couple pairs of clothes. And then my mom called this person, the sister, because the ex was still in jail at that point. And I had a whole old apartment full of furniture, plates, pans, coffee makers, and all my clothes, the photos I had left of my dad, and the flute that she spent 4 or 5 years paying off for me to be able to have in high school. A lot of stuff and books. Those books, you don't know how much those were worth.
Yeah.
I spent a good deal of first editions, and it wasn't cheap. And okay, Chloe, imagine this. Imagine the bitch that would have the audacity to tell my mother, no, if you come get her stuff, I will call the cops and say that you are a burglar. Yeah, and my mom was so pissed. She just hung up and she just turned to me and she said, you know what, Tiff? It's just stuff. But it was you who was paying utilities. Utility was in your name, right? Yep. Here's my phone. Call the utilities company. Turn them off. And I did. It was cathartic as hell. I'm slightly more vindictive than Johnny is. And yes, since then, Yeah, people know she couldn't get a job in this town by the time I was done. Because, unlike Johnny, I'm extremely vindictive. And I did, when I had a base of operations to go off of, I went after her. And I'm not ashamed to say it. And I don't feel bad about it, even though I probably should.
Did you fight fair?
Well, yes, I say I only fought with the truth.
Then you have nothing to be ashamed of.
And I went after him too, saying that he is not at the mental state nor capacity, again, the truth, to be living out on his own or to be without a person, and his sister is not mentally stable enough to be that person. And so he, as far as I know, last I heard, he went to go live with his dad. And from what I heard, it's the best thing that's ever happened to him because his dad would not take his shit.
Yeah.
But
It's scary stuff, it really is.
several years later, I lived with my mom for a year and a half. And my choice, not my mom's, my choice. I'm just psycho like this. I would pull 13 hours days, 7 days a week to be able to pull enough money together to be able to get out on my own. And eventually I did. Obviously. But yeah, unlike certain people like AH, I don't think the world owes me. And I will put in the work. But yeah, that's why when they talked about what happened with Johnny's thumb and the throwing, more than just him having similar diagnosis to me and being a part of the family, as we like to call it.
Well,
It was
also
also
in the chat is Dwight Pettigrew. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That was rude of me.
no, that's okay. I'm starting to take a look back here.
I don't know how much longer you're gonna be on here, but I'm gonna go live. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe 8:30, and I want to talk about a few of the aspects of the case concerning May 21st. It's going to be a several-part series, but if either one of you would like to join me, please do feel free.
Because of the UK time difference, I really don't know. Because obviously, time difference in the UK.
Yeah, I completely understand. My collab partner's in the UK, and she's a single mother, and like we keep joking about like, well, we can conquer the world if we could only just get together, like have that time slot that is perfect where we both align for like an hour and we can do our thing.
If we could all align, that would be great. If we could all somehow be there for Virginia, Tug, Stevie, Brian, me, God, Tammy. I miss Tammy.
Is Tammy gonna be there? Like literally, Tammy alone would make me want to go.
I owe that woman multiple hugs.
She's quality people. I really, really like Tammy.
She wasn't quite around at that time, but she was around, so to speak. She was talking with me and Paul. And she got to saw the Dingle Dabs sing. And Chloe was having a bad day. And she watched that little Dingle Dabs infomercial that Tammy did. And it brightened her whole day.
Aww. If you ever want your day brightened, go back to Debbie's. I'm brain farting. Who were we just talking about?
Tammy.
Tammy. I called her Debbie for some reason. If you ever want to brighten your day, go back through her like videos and find one where she laughs a lot and then listen on it at like 2x speed, 2x. It is the cutest thing ever.
It really is. It really is. And we're going to round up here in a moment. But
God damn it.
I know, but we haven't had a 2-hour one in quite some time.
True that.
And it's been awesome to have you here, Captain Obvious. You can sneak in at any time. Feel free. That's why it's open chat. Means anybody can jump on stream. I always put the link to the chat and up there before any other comments get made. And sometimes Gina comes on.
Mm-hmm.
I hoped that was okay. I figured if you didn't want people to use the link, you wouldn't have put it there. So I was kind of rolling the dice. Not sure if I was wanted or not.
Oh, no, you definitely are. You definitely are. And I think my story of that part, for one thing, Chloe's protective over me. Very much so. So on one hand, listening to that story kind of hit her directly in the feels. But
And mostly because it sounds so similar to what I went through.
And yeah, there's that too.
If you don't mind me asking, where did you guys meet?
We met through Paul, which we met through a group chat.
Oh.
Yeah.
On Facebook, yeah. And, you're autistic. You should, because Paul was a part of a goth group on Facebook. And Tiffany's on the autistic interwebs. I'm like, all the time for damn near 20 years.
Indubitably, man.
And then I had to get involved with the Justice for Johnny because I was going to see a side of it that nobody else would have even noticed. And I had something that I need to bring to the table that nobody would have ever thought of before. And that is the violence against people with disabilities by their significant others is not just higher than the general public. It's significantly higher. We've done the statistics. 1.3 times more likely to be victims of violent crimes. 1 million times more likely to be victims of sexual assault.
I wonder why that is, though. Is there reasoning behind all that?
It's the vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
We get preyed upon. Especially
when I
neurodiverse
think
people.
Tiffany Daniels, the very last word that comes to my mind is vulnerable.
That's because I've grown a very hard shell over the years. I've gotten...
Clearly.
I didn't react I'll be honest. I'm not a victim age. No, honey. No. Okay? I reacted... My default's rage. How I reacted to what Zach did to me. How I reacted to what Scott did to me. It wasn't sadness. It wasn't brokenness, even though it did. It was anger. It was rage. And that rage and anger, I lived on it. I lived on vengeance, getting my vengeance one day for years. But eventually that anger got channeled. And I became an advocate when I started fighting and seeing how fucked up things were. And then in 2008, when I saw the fight for Andre McCollum's and the JRC, and I started digging there. And I got involved on a local level and started becoming, my representative constituent of the Mo Commission on Autism Spectrum Disorders. And I became just a major part of all of that. And I channeled all that rage into fighting like hell for the rest of us for treatments that made sense.
Mm-hmm.
I found a talent for politics and networking. I took to it like a duck to water. And I made the connections. We started coming up with implementing person-centered planning over ABA and adversive punishment. And adversive punishment is that tricky little world they like to use to cushion the fact that basically they're punishing disabled people for being disabled.
Mm-hmm.
Like it used to be slaps, pinches, spanks, hits with spatulas.
I'm sure you've covered it before, and if it's something that kind of triggers you to go into a rant because it's upsetting,
Well, don't worry, that's what my videos are for.
True. She takes that on her channel.
What do you think about that girl? I can't remember her friggin' name. She was a social media star who did not deserve any fame whatsoever because she started on the Dr. Phil show being that 13-year-old girl who stole her mom's car and punched her mom while she was pregnant. And
she outdid my brother. Okay.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No, I'm not sure.
I can't remember her name.
But it just reminds me, Chloe already knows this story. Because when my brother decides to self-destruct, he pays attention to detail, I like to say. This particular time, he's much better now. He's been in the Army since then. He was not in a good place, we'll put it that way. Stole my mom's Jeep. Wrecked it. Next, I hear he's in a psych ward in Joplin. And yeah.
I remember this way too well.
Like, the boy paid attention to detail, but he would never harm a hair on my mom's head. Literally, you're going to punch your mother.
Okay, I remembered her name after I Googled it.
Oh, she's the Cash Me Outside girl.
Yeah, Catch Me Outside. How about that?
Yeah, that one.
She doesn't want to catch me outside.
Anyway, what do you think about her claims that those farms that Dr. Phil was using to send these kids to were completely abusing the children and there were deaths occurring? They lost a staff member to one of the kids who was at the camp. He got a hold of a knife and killed one of the staff members.
Same thing I said with AH, and even with the JRC. Show me the evidence. But with Johnny and the JRC, there's mountains of evidence. And with the JRC, there is evidence going back all the way to 1979. This school this school has killed 6 kids with adversive treatment. 6. Any other school would have been closed.
If I do collect the facts, will you have a look at them?
I actually, if you go to my videos, if you go to the description box, I have links. The person who archived it, her pseudonym is Autistic Hoya. Her real name's Lydia Brown. Mm-hmm. She's one of the fellows who's been fighting this since forever. And it's got all the links from the 1979 report to 2006 to 2012 to current abuse cases going on against the school right now. Oh my God, my TV suddenly turned on.
Brahma?
No, the remote's over there.
You didn't touch it, did you? Subconsciously.
I did not psychically turn on my TV. God, that was a little freaky. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. I'm taking notes for my video I'm about to do, so I'm half listening, half staring at my notepad.
It's okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of links. There's a compilation video that was from Anderson Cooper back in 2012. And it had, at this school, people talk about racism. They don't want to talk about this school, but the school preys on poor Black communities who do not have access to proper treatments. And they take these kids. This school is made up 70% of kids with minorities. And I've seen the documents. They prey on those areas.
Can you highlight what Merrick just said? What is she talking about there?
What's they to
6-year-old plus a fetus, I think. I remember this story, but it's been a while. I think it was part of Anna Kournikov's story. One of the victims there. I think it was
Wait, look,
one of
Anna
the staff
Kournikova,
members.
the tennis player?
No, this was a Russian girl whose family immigrated to New York, and she got put in that school. And
Because there's a Russian girl who came to the U.S. for money, but then she goes back to Russia when it's time to do the Olympics, and she's a I think tennis player. Anna Kournikova. Yeah, I'm definitely sure that's her name.
But yeah, some of the things that Jennifer Masumba has talked about, like she would be restrained to the 4-point board after being forcibly, stripped naked, and then forcibly bathed, while male quote-unquote monitors would watch through security surveillance. There's stories from the DPPC supposedly protecting disabled people, right? Where there's camera footage of staff members sitting right outside the showers. And their excuse was that they were making sure they were doing proper hygiene. It's a downhill. It's the place of nightmares. And it's happening right here.
Somebody needs to get the kids out of there and just burn it to the ground. A phoenix shall
we
arise. No, you're good. Say something.
Me, Tiffany, and Paul were talking about this. It was kind of like as a sort of Sonic moment. And then it was just...
Well, his upbringing is special. His dad was former DOD contractor.
Who is Paul? I'm sorry, I missed in the beginning who Paul was, though.
The guy who walks around here, sometimes in a walker.
Oh, I've never seen him. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, it's fine. But
originally he was lurking in the back room, and now he lurks in the side room.
And he comes out. He does come out and hang now.
I mean, he came out like about 2 hours ago to go and get food, and then go back and lurk in his cave.
Well, right now he's appeasing the cat. The church has been separation anxiety since he spent 2 weeks at the hospital.
Yeah.
So he has to appease the cat now.
The worst part was she was shouting at him like, "Go to the hospital!"
Yeah. But anyways, his dad was former DOD, and basically as a kid, son, today we're going to make nitroglycerin sort of upbringing.
Yep.
Mad scientist. We call his dad the mad scientist.
Mm-hmm.
He crazy.
Yep.
And I think my doctor might be crazy. I heard somebody in the office the other day talking about giving ketamine as a therapy.
Yeah, I've heard about people using bleach on kids with autism in the UK, and Chloe can tell you.
If you don't know what ketamine is, it's an elephant tranquilizer.
I know. Okay, over here in the UK, people sniff it.
No.
Yes! I had a neighbour who used to turn around and go, cat, cat, cat. And then she would go and buzz the drug dealer's door and just be like, "Wagwan, can I have cat?" And it's just like...
How long did the buzz last?
Oh, it would go on for days. And the worst part...
That sucks.
The worst part was she was pregnant at the time that she was sniffing cat and cocaine. So I'm just sitting there, I'm like... Tiffany knows who I'm talking about because I missed the stream for this girl.
Did she win the Darwin Award?
Too late. Amber already got it.
But the worst part was, I was sitting there, I'm like, this kid's been to a gig, right? A mosh pit, no less, with a mosh pit. This kid's had coke, care in its system. How the fuck is it not dead?
I wish I had answers, man. Like, this is insane.
The crap that I cover, the fact that this place exists, the United States, and that, see, I distrusted the media way before this case. And it's all how
Me
this,
too, yeah.
the way this case and these kids, these victims got treated by the media was disgusting. And the only one who seemed to have his fucking head on right was Anderson. Sitting there like, but these kids are out of control. But what are the answers? Is there's no other treatments? There's been other treatments for over the last 3 decades. I could have named at least 5 different of them just off the top of my head. Just off the top of my head. Positive reinforcement, person-centered planning. God, person-centered, I forgot the other one. I'm tired, folks. I can usually name about 5. It's just, yeah, it's garbage. But in the levels of corruption, that's the parallels I saw were in the trolls, the corruption of the media, corruption, because JRC has their hands in Autism Speaks, and for the DC Circuit Court to have all that information. And they've had their hands wrapped around the balls of the Massachusetts judicial system for longer than I've been alive. Like, you read these documents and the way the government over there and the judicial system gives them free pass after free pass after free pass. It's just, it blows your mind. And that's why, as horrific with the shit that AH has gotten away with it, I've already been disillusioned at this point. Like, nope, I can believe it. I can believe things are that fucked. And that Chloe just, like, and her situation just reinforced it that much further. And then the whole Austin Anderson thing. See, the media, they love to do things where if a mom murders her autistic child, do they get angry at the mom or think about how terrified the little kid must be? No, they do an hour-long presentation on how we must feel sorry for how overwhelmed the mother is. And I'm just sitting up here. Excuse me.
Kind of sounds like Scientology almost.
A child has been murdered. Maybe we should care about how terrified and helpless that little child was, 5 years old. This is relatively recently, which is why I'm still salty. 5 years old, little child. And you want me to feel sorry for the mother? That mother could have given that kid up for adoption. She could have took that child to any hospital or police station and say, I'm sorry, I can't handle it. She could have asked for help. And if she couldn't ask for help, she had options. A child is helpless, disability.
Harming your child is never an option. Ever. Ever, ever, ever.
So you're going to make excuses for her and tell me I need to feel sorry and that we need to have more support for the mothers. The mothers have all the support and the power. They form these multi-billion-dollar so-called non-for-profit organizations like Autism Speaks and create these systems where we must cure them. We must make them normal. The types of treatments that if you go to autistic Twitter, they will sit there and they will tell you about the trauma of going through ABA, of basically being told who they are as they are is not good enough for them to be accepted or loved. So they must pretend to be normal or else. And the moms who make money off their kids. But anyways, go ahead, Chloe. I'm sorry.
There was this law that was made I think it was like last year or the year before, which was Arthur's Law. Now, I'm not sure, it made the media fairly recently, because there was this one little kid called Arthur. He was only 5 years old, and his parents killed him. From what I'm reading, I think he was on the spectrum. And then he was brutally murdered by his parents. And then Boris Johnson, when he had only one fucking brain cell, and now he's trying to defund the whole NHS. But basically, what it is, it's more of a. The only time when Boris Johnson had one brain cell, and said, actually, people who kill children need to die in prison. And I'm just like.
It's all right, Captain Obvious. Let me send you another link, hon. So we gotta end on a. Go ahead, Chloe, and then we gotta end on a positive note. We kind of talked over some dark stuff there.
Yeah, so Arthur's Law was created to protect children, because Arthur was killed at the age of 5. If people want, I can do a video on it and explain what's happened. Because I can proper go into depth about it and what's happened and why it's happened, and it's sort of like I can do a psychology of murder sort of thing.
Yeah, you and Paul both. Which is how Paul knows about Depp's newest lawyer. He knew before we did. Because he binge-watched How to Make a Murderer. And told us all about it. Oh, she's awesome. She does this.
Yep.
She's got a fanboy.
Merrick, I have made like one video, which was a Five Nights at Freddy's one, but that was pretty much it. And then I'm gonna starting doing psychology of murders and all of that lovely jazz real soon. Once I get that video scripted.
Excellent. We're glad to hear it. So on a lighter note, and I was going to mention this earlier, so I've been seeing it go around Twitter all day. If you could bring musicians back from the dead, who do it be? And they would post all these pictures. I'm like, all right, God damn it. Before I get on stream, I'm going to make my list. And I put in Ronnie James Dio.
Mm-hmm.
Dimebag Darrell, he was the guitarist from Pantera who was shot on stage. That one freaking hit hard.
Mm.
Randy Rhoads, of course. Amazing guitarist. Randy Rhoads. And let's see here. I also put in guitarist. I put in Kurt Cobain. And let's see here. I also put in guitarist. I can hear myself. Kurt Cobain. And let's see here. I also put in
Captain.
I can hear
Is that me doing it?
Yep. Captain.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm trying to fix it.
Oh, it's
That
not
was
you,
disappointing.
Chloe.
I hear you. I'm trying to fix it.
Oh, it's not you, Chloe. I'm just gonna keep
Can
saying
you mute me
it.
real
I'll hear
quick
myself.
until I can figure it out?
Hmm?
Never mind.
Fix it.
Yay! Okay, let's see here. Put in Judy Garland, Billie Holiday, Janis Joplin, and Frank Sinatra, Freddie Mercury,
Yes.
and David Bowie,
Yes.
Johnny Cash, because obvious reasons. I think I said Louis Armstrong already, but
I can do my top 3. I can list top 3.
It's okay, Grandma. It's okay.
This is literally.
Oh, it's okay, Brahma. It's okay.
Are you good there, Captain?
Kitten had a protest. He said, meh.
Are you okay there, Captain?
I think I am. Try adding me now.
Yeah, you're already at it, hon. You're good. It's
Yeah.
okay.
No,
Come on,
I only
honey.
had one tab open and it was StreamYard. What I didn't realize was that it had saved the old tab and it was underneath, but I couldn't see it on the list at the top.
That's when you
So I had to
internally die.
shut everything down, and then I was like, oh, well, there it is. I am so sorry for your ears. My bad.
I'm the one
But-
wearing headphones. Feel sorry for me.
I'm sorry for everybody. That wasn't pleasant. Whoever you are.
I have a friend, her name's Jamie. And it's like one time within her hearing, somebody asked, who the hell is Freddie Mercury? As Chloe,
No.
like, you saw Chloe's eyes just go really large. She knows about this, Jamie.
Yes.
You like she
No.
looks for like the one thing you do not do around the Jamie. You do not insult the Freddie Mercury, and you do not know who the great Freddie Mercury is.
You have spouted some catties by the chest or region.
Yes, say hi.
Have you guys ever done quizzes on here? I would love to do like real quizzes where you can like earn points and see. You know.
Okay. My top 3 or my top 2 that I would like to bring back from the dead. Freddie Mercury and David Bowie.
If we could get all these people in a concert, like have it be a festival.
Yes. Oh, George Michael. That's also another one I would like back for some
Ella
reason.
Fitzgerald dead.
Yep, Ella would
Should be
definitely
one of
have to
mine.
come back.
Oh, who was that girl from Texas that broke out in the 60s with the mamas and the papas and the...
Mama Cass.
No, I'm thinking of Janis Joplin. Janis Joplin, man. I'd love to bring her back and see what she had left in her.
And I'd love to bring Mama Cass back too.
True that.
Let's just put that out there, man. Don't get me wrong, I love Jim Morrison. But
Or
dude,
let's add a like actor into the mix. Alan Rickman. I would like him back.
I love him.
Vincent Price.
You like Alan Rickman too, Chloe?
Yes. Believe it or not, I live in the the world that brought us, or the country that brought us, Harry Potter.
Okay, I have a few from the dead category. Betty Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Vincent Price.
Mhm.
Groucho Marx,
Mhm.
Charlie Chaplin.
Mhm.
Fatty Arbuckle. I want to know if he really did the crime.
True. And oh my God, one of my favorites of the silent screen. And by the way, AH, you will never be as awesome or as gorgeous as she was. Greta Garbo.
Hmm.
Or Marlene Dietrich. Yeah, I watch a lot of old movies. I used to watch them with my dad. Judy Garland. I would love to bring her back.
I tried so hard to get into Marilyn Monroe movies, but I'm
I
sorry.
can't
Her
do it.
acting just irritates me.
I can't do it. I just can't do it. Humphrey Bogart. Oh my God, James Cagney.
Hmm.
If you all want to see what I mean, watch the movie White Heat. If you want to know where that whole phrase "on top of the world, ma" comes from, it's that movie. And of course, Marlon Brando, On the Waterfront. Anybody ever see that movie?
No.
It's one of his most brilliant movies, especially his monologue at the end. I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender.
I feel like I've heard that before.
Yeah, it's On the Waterfront. It's one of his most famous movies. And I would also pick someone that Depp would probably agree with. I think she passed away, but I'm not sure. Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah, I think she passed away.
Give me a second, Googling.
Oh God, music.
I would
Michael.
love to have been able to meet Betty White, Rue McClanahan, Estelle Getty, and what was the last one? B. Arthur from the Golden Girls.
Yep. And don't forget Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
I'm so conflicted over that man.
If you're talking about Elizabeth Taylor, yeah, she passed away 20. So basically, technically, tomorrow, in 2011.
Oh,
She once said in a quote that jewelry are the real owners of the earth. We're just their temporary keepers while we're here with them. I thought that was a kind of interesting way to put. I mean, she was talking about diamonds and whatever, but it was interesting.
does anybody know who Earl and Hardy was?
Yeah.
So Hardy, fun little story. My great grandpa, my dad's dad, was the dentist for Laurel. And somewhere in my family, still floating around, is a signed photograph. And my Grandma Olive, may she rest in peace, she, like all of us, she was a fangirl at one point, and she got an autograph signed when she was 16 from Bing Crosby.
Aww.
Which I thought was awesome. But there's some other things like Lieutenant George Daniels, one of my family members. We've pretty much always been in the military, pretty much. We had Civil War, the bugle from when he was a Union soldier, his bugle.
Mm-hmm.
God, some of the things. Like my dad's 1940s cameras. Don't get me started on those.
If I wanted to put film in some of my old cameras, can it still be processed today? Is there anywhere that would be able to do that for me?
I don't
in the
know.
UK, I think that's the thing, but anything else, it's like not so much. I swear
I took photography in college and I ended up dropping out because of my migraines, but I have got a cute little camera collection in the other room Mainly because when my grandfather passed away, he left me all of his cameras. And I mean, some of them are really cool. They're like the ones that you hold up.
Yeah. Sorry, my brain's just having a brain fart because I swear I get paid today, but apparently
Yeah,
I don't.
you hold them up like that. And then
Mhm.
you lift the lid and you look inside.
Oh, right.
Would you like to see it? It's right next door.
I would.
Okay.
Sure. And then
I
we
would
got to
like-
get this wrapped up here soon, guys.
All right, I'll grab it, and then I
Well,
will be
in the
nice and
meantime,
let you leave.
I actually would, DJH. My dad used to restore the old cylinders for phonographs. Like, he would find them at flea markets, and I don't even know how he did it, but hearing some of those artists from the 1920s on their original cylinders playing from a phonograph, guys, whoever can, do it.
1, 2, 3. So I'm
Definitely do
supposed
it.
to get paid today.
You know I've been there, and you know I don't mind.
Yeah, my brain's having a brain fart. Give me a second.
Sorry, I know you saw my disgusting, dirty room. Pick on me behind my back, not in front of my face, please.
Yeah, that would be more something my mom would do. She's the clean fanatic.
Tell her she is thoroughly, fully invited. I will cook her meals.
My dad used to call her the white tornado. And for the love of God, do not do anything while she's cleaning. She's already pissed. Just back away and stay at a safe distance.
Yeah, that's how Tommy's mom is, my boyfriend.
All right, are we going to
Right.
be looking at something? My battery's about dead, folks.
Yeah. Why can't you
All I
see me?
see is your lovely background.
Oh, the
Weird.
camera's not going to pick up? How do I change my background?
I have no idea, hon.
Neither.
I know how to work Photoshop, not these streaming things.
Neither.
How Stevie manages to make his so fancy, I feel like he should do a tutorial.
Tutorial.
Like, dude, I need deets.
Why isn't it picking me up?
11,
I'm not an idiot. I had tape on the lens.
Okay, I can see you, and I can see the background.
Oh, hello.
Okay, so I'm going to have to hold it in front of me then.
Oh, it's one of those ones.
Yes, my dad had a lot of those. He picked them up from flea markets.
Yeah, and then when you open it, there we go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you open the lid, you
Mhm.
look in, adjust your picture, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 2 of those and 2 of these. Well, not 2, but an automatic
wow.
Minolta.
Yeah,
That's like the camera that my brother used.
used.
It still takes real film.
Oh, wow.
Same as this one. This one takes real film. My mom was a Minolta person. She loved Minolta.
Yeah, my dad did too.
Nikon was my baby daddy, though. This one takes real film, too.
Yeah, that thing's a badass.
My brother had a Canon. I don't remember what one, but I know he had a Canon. And I'm thinking, if it's still in my mum and dad's house, I'm going to nick it because I love my photography.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
My lens, and my last but not least, This one.
Oh wow.
Oh,
And again, real film.
That looks like an actual like proper. You know those cameras that you would see like in media.
Uh-huh.
yep.
It looks like one of those stereotypical ones.
Yeah, I am pretty sure I've seen the Queen of England walking around with a very similar looking one.
Mm.
Very nice.
I'm
All right.
sorry if I held up the stream. Good night. I hope you ladies have a good one.
Yep, and we are closing out too, folks. All right, we're 2 hours and 40 minutes in, folks. It's been wonderful. We've had a great conversation. It's been the best stream we've had in a minute. So thank you, Captain Obvious, for coming on with us.
Thank you for having me.
Don't forget to go over to Captain Obvious's channel. You can even say, it's a spilling tea raid.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about May 21st.
Oh, okay, guys.
I don't know how much tea there is to spill because Amber doesn't know what truth means.
Facts. So head on over to her channel. Thank you, everyone, for coming. As always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Everybody have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.